Hello everyone, my name is Michelle with Tears to Treasures and Life is a Treasure podcast. So today I'm doing something a little different. It's going to be called Tea Time Tuesday. I've been doing some Thursday treasure videos and I really enjoy them, and I know you like to see the deals, but I'm making some changes. So this is going to be a little announcement of some changes, but I'm also going to be sharing some stories from my own life that I think will hopefully encourage some of you if you're going through something similar that I went through, and spilling the tea. So I hope that this video will offer you some encouragement, and I'd like to first just start off by saying that if you're watching this video on Facebook, I know that it cuts off at around 5 minutes, so it always lives on my YouTube channel, Life is a Treasure. You can subscribe there. It will notify you when I go live here. You'll be able to watch it in real life, and you can always watch the replay on YouTube. And then I will upload the full video on Facebook. So if you're watching and it cuts off, I know, I'm sorry. It's the technical side of things, but I definitely always upload the video from YouTube onto Facebook. Okay. So first of all, happy Tuesday. There's a lot going on in the world. Last week we had that hurricane coming towards Louisiana and some other areas, and thankfully it's over and done, and hopefully we have no more hurricanes, but we shall see. But we're also at a very critical time in our country, in our world. It's election year, and there's a lot of noise, a lot of news, a lot of chatter, a lot of confusion. I know I've been hearing from so many people, and someone such as myself who's an empath, I feel it all. So I want to share that I'm going to be taking a break from Thursday Treasures. I'm not going to be doing the videos on Thursday until maybe November. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely taking a break for my mental health. I talk about mental health all the time. I have an episode that I just released about mental health awareness last week, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to take a break because I really need it. There's just too much going on. There's too many feelings in the world. There's too much division and confusion and conflict that I just need some time to process all this and, exercise my right to vote and share my voice by voting, which I'm going to do as soon as I'm finished with this video. I encourage you to do that. It's your right as a U.S. citizen to go out and vote for the future of your country, for your family, your loved ones, and for yourself. So, that's the first thing I want to talk about. And if I do look over here, I have some notes so I don't get off track, because I will totally talk and talk and talk. So I got to keep myself in line here. And if you do leave comments, I may not see them live, but I'll definitely reply when the video is finished. So please leave questions, comments if you want as you watch the video. And thank you for watching. It means so much to me. And if there's ever any topics that you want me to talk about, let me know. I'm happy to do so. I totally believe that we need to talk about things that most people are not talking about, things that are taboo, because we often feel alone on our journeys. And I share a lot about this. When you feel alone, when you are withdrawn into yourself, that's where you get depressed and suicidal. I'm going to share a lot about that in this video in a minute, but I just want people to know that you are never alone, no matter what you're going through in your life. And so Thursday Treasures is going to take a break. As I said, the podcast will continue on every Thursday. A new episode releases. This Thursday, it's all about pregnancy loss. It's a really good episode if you or someone you know has been through any type of pregnancy loss, including abortion, because that's what I specialize in. Tears to Treasures is healing after abortion, healing after loss. But I've personally been through abortion, so I definitely understand that process, and I help women and men process through that journey of healing. But pregnancy loss affects so many women and men, and I definitely wanted to create an episode in honor of Pregnancy Loss Day this month. So, okay, so with that being said, Thursday Treasures is taking a break. Life is a Treasure podcast will continue on, and I am doing today a Tea Time Tuesday. Now, if you've listened to my podcast, I used to do a little short podcast called Tea Time Treasures. So I kind of stopped doing that. I took a break from that. I just create my full episodes every Thursday instead. But I decided today to do this Tea Time Tuesday because I'm going to share a very personal experience with you that affects so many of us. Probably like 1 in 3 or more of us have been through what I'm going to talk about today. And it's not abortion, it's something else. Something else that most people go through, unfortunately. So that's what I'm doing today. And then I'm taking a break, as I said. So this will be my last video for a few weeks, and I do not know when I'm coming back. I just want to take a break. I want to regroup. I want to start. It's already in October. I mean, mid-October. So I want to kind of get prepared for next year. I have some great things I'm working on. Some online programs for people who've been through a loss that you can do at your own pace, at your own time, in the privacy of your own home. And I'm definitely diving into that, and I'm creating that for you all. So I'm going to be busy creating a lot of things, but the podcast will continue on Thursdays until I let you know when I'm taking a break. So let's go on with the whole... Well, before I get to Tea Time Tuesday, let me just share one thing, because Thursday Treasures is all about deals and treasures. Today, Amazon Prime has their Amazon Prime Day deals, and it's happening from today and tomorrow only. So go to Amazon Prime and you will find all the deals. If you're looking for like a robot that cleans your floor, I have one. I love it. It goes under my bed in my bedroom, which I have a king size bed, so it's really challenging to clean under there. So that little robot goes under that. And I love the robot. They're on sale. Electronics are on sale. So many things. And Target jumped on the bandwagon. They're also having deals today. And Walmart. And Old Navy. 50% off of everything. So shop online. Make sure you use the apps where you get cash back. I use Rakuten, Swagbucks, Drop app. And I get cash back. I use the Amazon credit card. I get cash back from that. I use credit card with cash back. I'm all about cash back, because who doesn't love to get cash back from shopping and gift shopping? Start shopping for your children and your loved ones now. You get the best deals and you just beat the crowds and the chaos. So I want to share about that. And then now I think I'm ready to dive into the Tea Time Treasures. So get something to drink. Pause this video, get comfortable, and let's get started. So today I'm spilling the tea about my divorce. I was married for 15 years. We share 2 children, and I found myself in a really painful divorce with 2 children in the middle. And I could not even have imagined how challenging and difficult that struggle would be for me. I hope I'm not alone, but I really thought that, well, it felt like it was over for so long and, just going down this path. But no, it was way more than that. It affected my mind, my body, and my soul in so many ways. And I'm not going to get into all of that right now. I share so much more in my podcast episodes at Life is a Treasure podcast. I always include them in the YouTube video, in the YouTube channel, Life is a Treasure also. But here I am finding myself at 43 going through a very painful divorce. I knew about the grieving process because of the work that I do with women. And the grieving process consists of denial and anger and bargaining and depression and acceptance. Now, they don't go in that order, so don't let that trip you up. Like, you could actually have anger, and then you go through denial, and then your depression, and then your bargaining. Like, you could be all over the place, and you're not crazy. I know I hate saying that word, but I felt that way. But that's really the stages of emotions that you're going to go through when you're dealing with a loss, whether it's pregnancy loss, whether it's marriage loss, a relationship loss, any type of loss, you're going to have those stages, most likely, of anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance is actually the healing closure part of it. So, I can remember my denial stage was so many people who had been through divorce before me would say, you know, how long were you married? And I'm like, 15 years. And they're like, it's going to take that long to heal. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, I was in so much denial about this process that I was getting ready to go through. I guess I didn't want to go through the pain. I didn't want to go through all the feelings, and I could just like skip over it, but I couldn't. And the longer I fought, the longer I stayed stuck. And I'm going to share some books in a little while that will help you to move through it better and some tips. But here I was at 43, filled with so much pain and anger and resentment and just so many hopeless feelings. I felt hopeless. I really did, because not only was I trying to deal with the divorce, but I'm having to raise my children also. And they're feeling a lot of stuff different from me, but yet the same, if you know what I'm saying. And so as a mother, I'm trying to be strong for them, but I was a total mess. I was a broken mess. I needed healing, but I didn't have much hope. I really didn't. I was just filled with so much pain and guilt and grief and sorrow that I couldn't barely get up in the morning. But I had to for my children. I didn't care about doing it for myself. And that's the whole goal of healing, is to accept ourselves and our new role and heal. So, as we do when we get divorced, we start dating again. And my datings were disaster. They were disasters because I was a mess, okay? I was like a total mess. And that I brought that into my relationships. I chose unhealthy relationships because I was unhealthy. And I attracted unhealthy humans because I was unhealthy. And I learned a lot. I became so much stronger. But I will tell you that a few years after that, my children moved away. They graduated high school. They moved off to far away to college. And then I went through empty nest syndrome. So first of all, I was a wife, and then I wasn't a wife. And then I was a mom, and then I felt like I wasn't a mom. And then I was alone. And I was alone with myself. And I didn't want to be alone with myself, with the thoughts and the feelings I was having. So my body let me know. It literally had a breakdown. I share this in an episode, the first episode of my podcast in November, but my body just said enough is enough, and it just shut down on me, literally, like my body was shutting down. I ended up in the emergency room, and I knew that I had to make drastic life changes and decisions. And I knew that for a long time coming. I just was procrastinating that process. So I took a break, and I literally stopped doing pretty much everything that I was doing, and I just took care of myself. Because I knew, like, no one else is going to come save me. No one else is going to come take care of me. I had to take care of my own self. And the first thing that I did was I dove into this book right here, The Single Mom Life. Angela Thomas. This was a gift from my daughter, and she has no idea how much this changed my life. This book, I held on to this book for years, and I recommend this book all the time to women because it gave me hope. It gave me something to look forward to as I read her journey. I resonated with her journey so much. And I will share the link if you want in the comments. But this book really helped me a lot. So I definitely want to encourage you, if you're struggling, this is a great practical tool to use. So I had to let my heart heal. Another book that I loved was this one right here, Heart Made Whole by Krista Gifford. Turning your unhealed pain into your greatest strength. And that's what Tears to Treasures is all about. And so I love getting books like this, but I had to then apply it to my own life, my own heart. I wanted to be whole again. And as I started healing and becoming whole again, I started to accept myself for who I was, my new role, my new life. And another book that I want to share is this one, How to Heal Yourself When No One Else Can. Wonderful, wonderful book if you're in the middle of a healing process. And then, as I shared, it was time to look at my life. You Can Heal Your Life. Louise Hay is one of my favorite authors, and this book also is life-changing. I will share the links to all these books that I mentioned. But as you see, this was a process and a progress of my self-development. And so I made some serious changes in my life. I made some decisions, one which was like selling the house that I was living in because my children were no longer there. I was by myself, and my children were in California. I was in Louisiana, and their daddy was in Texas. And I had already lived in Texas. We had all lived in Texas as a family. We also lived overseas in Indonesia for 8 years total. But I had to take a hard look at where I was. And it was difficult to leave my roots and my family, but I also felt it was time. That chapter of my life was closing, and I needed to move on. So I sold that house. I had the house up for sale, and I really was just gonna find my own little place, go live on my own somewhere. And I decided it was gonna be Texas, and I chose Austin, Texas, because it looked like a great place to live at the time, and I just was ready for a change and ready to move. But during this time, as I'm getting my house ready to sell and getting rid of so many things, like all my children's stuff that they didn't want to bring, and this was not easy to get rid of their stuff. I get emotionally attached, and to have those memories of their toys and their books and their clothes, like I kept some that I treasure, but I had to release and let go. I couldn't bring all of it. So as I said, I was working on myself. I had worked on myself for these years, and I was ready to move on. And I was invited to my 30th class reunion. I had never attended any of my class reunions, not the 1 year, 5 year, 10, 15, 20, none. But it was my 30th class reunion. And I had never been to any reunions because I was living overseas almost every time, or living away. And so I just didn't attend. But I decided that, I'm ready to go to my first reunion, our 30th one. Why not? I haven't seen these people in 30 years, so I'm going to go. And so I went, and I was standing there by myself. But I was totally, I had done so much of my own inner work by then that I was totally cool with being by myself. I wanted to be there by myself. I chose to go by myself. But I'm standing there with some girlfriends, and people were coming in, and some I remember, some I didn't. They changed, we all change over 30 years. And we're just kind of watching. And then a guy that I knew from 5 years old, his aunt lived across the street from me my whole life, and he was always over there. We went to school together since kindergarten, I was 5 when I started kindergarten. And we went to school together our whole entire life, till we graduated. And then, he went off on his life, and I went off on my life, and I hadn't seen him in 30 years. And he walked in, and then he walked up to me, and immediately we reconnected. And we have been together for 7 years now. We just celebrated our 7-year reconnection, reunion, connection. And I just want to share that I had given up on love. I had just totally lost hope. I felt like I am now 49. I'm almost 50 at this time, that many years ago. I just really was like, I'm just going to live the rest of my life by myself. I'm done with all of this. And here he comes walking in, and we reconnected, and it was just like it was meant to be. And I just want to share that, because if you're feeling like you want to just give up, if you've lost hope, don't. My best advice to you is work on yourself, because you can't change anyone but yourself. And you don't want anyone to come into your life and try to change you. That's how I was. That's how I believe and I felt, is that I've learned I cannot change anyone. I don't want to try to change anyone. And the only person that I can change is myself. And I don't want anyone to come and try to change who I am. And so you can find someone who will appreciate you, who will accept you, who will love you unconditionally no matter what you look like, no matter what you feel like, and that will challenge you and not try to change who you are. They will encourage you. They will uplift you. You deserve that. I didn't feel I deserved that before that time. I had no self-worth. It was on the ground and it had been trampled on. But I had to pick that back up and claim my self-worth again and say, I am worthy of a relationship. I am worthy of love. When I decided that and when I felt that in my heart, that's when I attracted that love into my life again. And I was then ready for a relationship. I was ready to continue to work on myself because relationships are not easy. And I knew going into it that if I want to have a healthy relationship, I've got to continue working on myself. And the person that I choose to be with should be doing the same. So I hope this will encourage you. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know where you are in your journey. But I want you to have hope that wherever you are, like you will not always be that way. And the best thing you can do is honor yourself, honor your progress, honor your pain. Let yourself feel what you want to feel. Accept that. And know that you are worthy of your own love. You are worthy of your own respect. And you can demand that from other people. Don't settle. Don't ever settle. Keep striving to be the best you, and you will attract the best person for you in your life. So that is my Tea Time Tuesday treasure for you today. I don't know who needs to hear it, but I know one person needs to hear this today. And for that one person, I wanted to show up and I wanted to share my story. I want to instill some hope for you. I wanted to offer you some help through these books. I want to encourage you. Continue on your healing journey. You're so worth it. And seek help online or in person. I use betterhelp.com for therapy online. They're a wonderful resource. I always talk about them. I'm such a strong believer in therapy and someone that can sit there and listen to you and share, let you explore your emotions. So always remember that there's a rainbow at the end of the storm. There's treasures that come after our tears. And you can truly create a life that you treasure again. I know that because I live it. And I try to practice everything I talk about, but I'm human. I fail, but I get back up. I start over again. I pick up where I was. So I don't know who needed to hear it, but I know someone did. And if that's you, let me know. I'd be honored to pray for you. I'd be honored to sit and listen in a safe space if you need that. I'm here to help you. I hope that you all have a wonderful Tuesday. Go out and exercise your right to vote. And I'm going to be taking a break so I can just be with my own family and loved ones. And I just needed a break from social media for a little while. My podcast episodes are already scheduled. They will go out. This Thursday, as I said, is pregnancy loss. And then the next one's going to be breast cancer awareness. And then I have another one on menopause, really, really good. And then I'm going to do one, I have one on stress awareness. So if those topics are interesting to you, subscribe to the channel Life is a Treasure on YouTube. And the podcast is on every platform. And it's always at lifeisatreasure.com also. Share the episodes, subscribe to the podcast, the YouTube channel, so you don't miss out. They notify you when it goes live. And I'd love to hear from you all. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you all probably back in November. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.